There is a moment in almost every relationship when nothing looks broken from the outside, yet something silently changes inside. Messages are still answered. Conversations still happen. Care still exists, but attraction begins to fade. And the most confusing part is this: the more emotionally attached two people become, the less magnetic the connection sometimes feels. People assume love should automatically increase attraction. Psychology quietly reveals something uncomfortable. Attachment and attraction are not the same force. In fact, sometimes they move in opposite directions. And until someone understands this hidden conflict, they unknowingly destroy the very chemistry they are trying to protect. Attachment is built on safety. The nervous system relaxes. Predictability increases. Emotional certainty grows. Your brain stops scanning for threat because it feels secure. From an evolutionary perspective, attachment exists to create stability. Long-term bonding, cooperation, emotional survival. But attraction was never designed for stability. Attraction activates when the brain senses possibility, uncertainty, and emotional movement. It is fueled by curiosity, novelty, and psychological tension. This creates the hidden paradox. The same behaviors that strengthen attachment can slowly weaken attraction, not because something is wrong, but because the brain uses two completely different systems. One system asks, "Am I safe here?" The other asks, "Am I emotionally stimulated here?" And safety without stimulation slowly becomes emotional neutrality. Neuroscience shows attachment is linked strongly to oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Oxytocin reduces anxiety. It lowers emotional alertness, creates calm familiarity. Attraction, however, depends more on dopamine and anticipation. Dopamine rises when outcomes are uncertain. When someone is slightly unpredictable, emotionally self-contained, or internally grounded, the brain remains engaged. But when emotional availability becomes constant and fully predictable, dopamine drops. Nothing feels new to the brain anymore. This is why many couples feel confused. They become closer emotionally, yet excitement disappears. They interpret this as loss of love. In reality, the brain simply shifted from attraction mode to attachment mode. Attachment reduces distance. Attraction requires a small psychological distance, not emotional coldness, but individuality. When two identities merge completely, mystery disappears. And mystery is not manipulation. Mystery is simply the presence of an inner world that remains independent. When someone's entire emotional state becomes dependent on the relationship, attraction quietly weakens. Why? Because attraction grows when one person feels they are discovering another, not possessing them completely. The mind values what still feels alive and evolving. Once attachment deepens, fear often enters silently. Fear of loss, fear of disconnection, fear of emotional withdrawal, and fear changes behavior. People begin over-explaining, seeking reassurance, monitoring emotional responses. Ironically, these actions come from love, but psychologically they communicate dependence, and dependence shifts perceived value. The brain unconsciously interprets emotional overinvestment as reduced autonomy. Attraction decreases not because caring is wrong, but because emotional balance disappears. Many believe strong emotional conversations mean strong attraction. But emotional intensity and attraction are different experiences. Arguments can create intensity. Jealousy can create intensity. Emotional drama can create intensity. Yet none of these sustain attraction long-term. True attraction comes from emotional steadiness combined with individuality. A person who feels emotionally complete without needing constant validation becomes psychologically magnetic. Because they are not trying to hold the connection, they are simply present within it. One of the least understood traits in attraction psychology is self-containment. This means a person's emotional state is not fully controlled by the relationship. They care, but they remain internally stable. This stability signals strength to the subconscious mind. Humans are naturally drawn toward emotional regulation, not dominance, not detachment, but calm independence. Attachment seeks reassurance. Attraction responds to grounded presence. When reassurance becomes excessive, attraction slowly retreats. Attraction rarely disappears suddenly. It fades gradually. Less anticipation, less emotional curiosity, less subconscious excitement. Conversations become functional instead of engaging. The relationship becomes emotionally safe but psychologically flat. And both partners feel confused because nothing obviously went wrong. The truth is simple but difficult. Attachment succeeded, but attraction was never intentionally maintained. This is not about becoming distant. It is about understanding balance. Healthy relationships require both forces. Attachment creates emotional home. Attraction creates emotional movement. Without attachment, connection feels unstable. Without attraction, connection feels lifeless. The strongest relationships are not those with maximum closeness, but those where closeness and individuality coexist. Attraction does not disappear because people stop loving each other. It disappears when the emotional nervous system stops feeling movement. Human psychology is extremely sensitive to emotional contrast. The brain does not measure connection by how much love exists. It measures it by how alive the interaction feels. And emotional aliveness depends on unpredictability within stability. This is why secure individuals often maintain attraction longer than anxious or overly dependent ones. Not because they care less, but because they do not collapse their identity into the relationship. The human mind constantly evaluates value unconsciously. Not moral value, psychological value. Value is often linked to perceived autonomy. When someone appears emotionally self-sufficient, the brain interprets them as internally strong. Strength creates curiosity. Curiosity sustains attraction. But when emotional dependence becomes visible, the subconscious reads it differently. It senses emotional urgency. Urgency reduces perceived rarity, and rarity is deeply connected to attraction. This is not manipulation, it is cognitive pattern recognition. The brain naturally pays more attention to what feels independent rather than what feels guaranteed. Attachment encourages availability. Attraction requires rhythm. When emotional availability becomes constant, instant replies, constant reassurance, emotional predictability, the nervous system adapts. Adaptation reduces emotional stimulation. This is called hedonic normalization. Anything constantly present becomes background noise to the brain. Even affection, even attention. This explains why early stages of connection feel intense. There is uncertainty. Timing varies. Emotional discovery happens gradually. The brain releases dopamine because outcomes are unknown. But once everything becomes fully predictable, dopamine decreases. The relationship becomes emotionally comfortable but neurologically calm. Comfort supports attachment, but attraction needs periodic emotional contrast. Attraction often depends on subtle polarity, not dominance or submission, but emotional contrast. One person grounded while the other expresses emotion. One calm while the other explores vulnerability. This creates movement between energies. When both partners become emotionally identical, constantly reassuring, constantly seeking closeness, polarity fades. And without polarity, attraction struggles to survive. The relationship becomes cooperative instead of magnetic, safe instead of exciting. Again, nothing is wrong, but something essential changes. Secure individuals do something psychologically powerful without trying. They do not chase emotional certainty. They allow space. They trust connection instead of monitoring it. Because they are not afraid of temporary distance, they naturally maintain individuality. This individuality keeps attraction alive. Their presence feels chosen, not needed. And choice is psychologically attractive. Need feels heavy. Choice feels free. The subconscious mind always responds more strongly to freedom than pressure. When attachment anxiety appears, behaviors subtly shift. People begin checking emotional signals constantly. They analyze tone, response speed, small changes in attention. Their nervous system moves into protection mode. But attraction cannot grow inside emotional surveillance. Attraction requires relaxed awareness, not emotional monitoring. The more someone tries to secure connection through control, the more attraction slips away. Because attraction thrives where emotional energy flows naturally. Every relationship operates on an invisible emotional economy. Investment must feel balanced, not equal in actions, but equal in emotional independence. When one person becomes the emotional center of the other's world, imbalance appears. The dynamic quietly changes from partnership to emotional responsibility. And responsibility reduces attraction, because attraction grows between two whole individuals, not between one stable person and one emotionally dependent one. People often notice attraction returning after short emotional distance. This is not coincidence. Distance restores individuality. The brain reactivates curiosity. Absence interrupts predictability. Dopamine rises again because uncertainty briefly returns. But this effect only works when distance comes naturally, not as manipulation. Forced distance creates insecurity. Natural space creates emotional breathing room. Attachment asks, "Will you stay?" Traction asks, "Who are you when you are free?" The moment someone stops growing individually, attraction struggles. Not because love vanished, but because discovery ended. Humans are wired to respond to evolving identities. When someone continues developing internally, attraction renews itself naturally. People believe maintaining attraction means giving more affection, but attraction is rarely sustained by quantity. It is sustained by emotional presence combined with self-possession. The paradox is powerful. The less someone tries to hold attraction, the easier attraction stays, because pressure disappears, and attraction cannot breathe under pressure. There comes a stage in almost every emotional bond where neither person understands what is happening anymore. Nothing dramatic occurs. No betrayal, no clear conflict, no visible ending. Yet one person begins to feel emotionally heavier, while the other begins to feel emotionally distant. This is the hidden moment where attachment and attraction fully separate. And most people misinterpret it. They believe distance means loss of love. But psychologically, distance often appears when attraction is trying to survive inside too much emotional certainty. When attraction weakens but attachment remains strong, the human mind starts testing unconsciously. These tests are rarely intentional. They appear as emotional withdrawal, reduced enthusiasm, delayed responses, subtle mood shifts. The purpose is not punishment. The subconscious is searching for emotional movement again. It wants to feel individuality from the other person. If the response becomes anxiety, over-explaining, or emotional chasing, attraction drops further. Because the brain receives confirmation, this connection has become emotionally dependent. But when the response remains calm, grounded, and self-contained, attraction often stabilizes again. Not because of strategy, but because emotional balance returns. Attraction behaves like curiosity. The moment curiosity feels forced, it disappears. Pressure signals emotional urgency. Urgency activates responsibility rather than desire. And desire cannot exist where emotional responsibility dominates. This explains why people sometimes say, "I still care about you," but something feels different. Care belongs to attachment. Excitement belongs to attraction. Both are real, but they grow from different psychological roots. Many people withdraw emotionally not because attraction vanished, but because attachment became overwhelming. When emotional closeness feels like expectation instead of choice, the nervous system creates distance to restore autonomy. Autonomy is essential for attraction. Humans need to feel they are choosing connection freely. The moment connection feels required, attraction quietly retreats. This is why attempts to force closeness often create the opposite effect. Attachment carries an invisible fear of losing emotional security, and fear changes behavior subtly. People begin protecting the relationship instead of living inside it. Conversations become cautious. Authenticity decreases. Spontaneity fades. The relationship becomes emotionally protected but psychologically stagnant. Attraction requires emotional risk. Small moments of unpredictability, honesty, individuality. Without those elements, connection survives. But energy disappears. Safety alone does not create fulfillment. The nervous system adapts quickly to emotional comfort. Once comfort becomes constant, emotional stimulation drops. Partners become familiar roles instead of evolving individuals. The brain stops discovering, and discovery is the core fuel of attraction. This does not mean instability is required. It means growth is required. Attraction survives where both people continue becoming. Healthy relationships are not built by maximizing attachment or maximizing attraction. They are built by balancing both. Attachment creates emotional roots. Attraction creates emotional movement. Roots without movement feel stuck. Movement without roots feels unstable. True connection exists where both forces coexist. Two people feel safe, yet still curious about each other. Close, yet still independent. Connected, yet still individual. The person who maintains attraction long-term is rarely the most expressive or the most distant. It is usually the one who remains emotionally centered. They do not withdraw to gain control. They simply do not lose themselves inside attachment. Their presence feels calm rather than needy, and calmness signals psychological strength. The subconscious mind interprets emotional stability as reliability combined with autonomy, a powerful combination for sustained attraction. Attachment says, "I need you to feel secure." Attraction says, "I choose you because I am already whole." When both partners reach this understanding, relationships stop feeling like emotional negotiations. Connection becomes lighter, presence becomes voluntary, and attraction stops being something that must be protected. It becomes something that naturally continues. Most people spend years trying to understand why love sometimes feels strong while attraction quietly fades. But the truth is simple and deeply human. Attachment keeps people together. Attraction keeps them alive inside the connection. The moment you learn to care without losing yourself, to stay close without becoming emotionally dependent, power, respect, and attraction begin to coexist naturally. And maybe the real lesson is this: the strongest connections are not built by holding tighter, but by standing whole beside each other. If this perspective changed how you see relationships, stay with Voxlore Audio, because the next understanding may change how you experience them. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and continue this journey into the psychology most people never learn.